Hello and welcome to Won't Be Forgetting That, a podcast talking about all the most awkward and embarrassing moments of people working in the arts and entertainment industry. I'm your podcast host, Seb Muirhead, and today we have a guest. They are an actor, a comedian, a presenter, Annie Lumsden.
Whoop, whoop, woo!
Oh, wow.
Cheering for myself, embarrassing.
No, that's great. I think a bit more of self-fanfare is definitely needed in this fucking miserable world.
Well, at least I'm on theme.
Exactly, right? First embarrassing moment ticked off.
That's what this podcast is, isn't it? It's how much embarrassment can you fit in?
I'm genuinely just doing this podcast so when everyone gets rich and famous, I'll just ride their coattails with blackmail. I'll cut out all the salacious stories and I keep them on a hard drive under lock and key. There's so many fucking people
This
on
hard
drive? No. That's like, oh, fuck. Delete. I'll start this podcast again. First off, thank you for coming on as well, Annie.
Thanks.
I've got a little confession to make. You are the first guest I've had on that someone else has written in a story about.
Oh my gosh, this is very intriguing.
Yes. I was wondering, do you happen to have any inkling of what it may or may not be?
Well, I do know a few of your previous guests.
Yes.
Is it something about saying something embarrassing over the airwaves? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
I
it
did
is.
do that.
The airwaves as well. I love that.
Well, I didn't know how specific to be.
Yeah.
For fear of doxing.
Oh,
but
yes,
I don't
I've got
know.
you. I've got you. So yes, we shan't name anything you don't want to name.
I think it's fine.
Yeah,
No
cool.
one's out to stalk me.
So-
If they would. My address is anyway.
No, we'll give that out at the
Okay,
end of
great.
the show. We have to. All these beautiful perverts have to keep listening till the end. But we will give out Annie's phone number,
Great.
address, favorite
Height.
height,
Yeah.
favorite height.
Favorite height.
Mine's 6'5".
Great. Mine's 2'2".
Is it? Wow, that's adorable.
Cute.
So opposite of us. Anyway, so this person, friend of the show, Claire Manson.
It's Claire Manson.
Yes,
it has
it
to
is.
be. I love Claire.
Yes, we all love Claire.
Love
She's
her.
fantastic and beautiful and a great person.
Oh God, whatever.
Aren't you
Really
just tired
talented.
of her?
I'm
Yeah.
so sick of her.
Fucking hate her
Get
as well,
away.
honestly.
Have you
Claire-
seen her like dressed to the nines?
Yes.
You could vomit.
It's
Yeah.
disgusting. I feel a deep anger inside me because she looks so good. And I don't know where it comes from as well.
Absolutely.
But,
if only she was a bitch, but unfortunately she's one of the
She's
best
a good
people in the
person as well. It
world.
really fucking sucks. So anyone that wants to know, go back to listen to the previous episode with Claire Manson on as well. You hear how great she is. Anyway, but apparently you have been saying some rather unfortunate things in front of school children.
Yes. Well, to name a few, I mean,
dear.
I'm sure there's few. I'm trying to remember which incident Claire might have brought up. Is it the time that I talked about fish gobbies?
Yes.
Is it? Okay. Well, I'll stop the list there.
Yeah, no, perfect. Spot on. We'll move on from there.
man.
No. What's a fish gob? I just heard gobbies as well.
So I do a talk when I'm going to dox myself anyway, but whatever. If you're on my Instagram,
We don't have to mention names of places as well.
Okay, great. Well, it rhymes with schmelvishman.
Yeah, well-known place, yes. I've frequented it many a time.
Anyway, I talk to school kids about like animals and
Makes sense. I'm on board so far.
thank you. It's my job. That's one of my jobs as a presenter. And I don't know, man. I just get caught up in my own excitement. And there was a person who was like feeding some seals and they were feeding fish. And then some school children got too close to the person feeding the fish. And I was like, be careful, because I was trying to say you're going to get splattered with fish globules. But I could not
Yes.
remember the term for globules, and I got stuck between globules, gobs, gobbies, and then I just told everyone to watch out for fish gobbies.
It is a fair warning. I would say anybody out there, watch out for fish
It's
gobbies.
good life advice.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. How old were these school kids for a start? Are we talking primary school, secondary school?
We're talking children aged 1 to 12. We're talking.
Okay, they might not
Comprehensive.
know what gobbies are yet. And I didn't realise that was a word in Australia. I always thought it was a Scottish word, gobbies.
So I learned about the sexy term for gobbies from Mish Wittrup, other fan of the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
When I was growing up in country Victoria, a gobby was like when you were like, and you had a bunch
Yeah.
of spit and you spat it out. That was a gobby.
Right. Yeah, I've never heard it in this country before, but I'm glad that
Yeah.
it's made it across the Atlantic Ocean, or
Yes.
whatever ocean it is, to over here.
Australian. No, I don't know.
The Australian Ocean.
Listen, I talk about fish gobbies, not geography gobbies.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
It's just about the fish inside the ocean, not the oceans themselves. Who gives a shit about them? Chuck plastic in the ocean, that's what I say.
Whatever.
Yeah. But did any of the kids pick up on it?
I think the person throwing the fish picked up on it because they started laughing. Because I was on a microphone. I just barreled on and then told everybody later. But
yeah, no, that's perfect. I think sometimes as well, if you don't stop and acknowledge it, you're just like, I don't think anyone else noticed that. Or maybe they'll talk about it afterwards, but if I make a thing out of this, I'm probably going on some sort of register.
That's it.
And I'm definitely getting fired.
People have said stupider things at the place that I work anyway. So, like,
I mean, they're not your stories to tell, but do you have any of them?
oh, it's fine. Just they're like, looking at lemurs. You're like, what is that? Is that a dog? Just like they're like, look at all the dogs. And you're like, that's not, what?
I've also worked at a shmoo before as well. Yeah, something that rhymes with shmoo anyway. Not the one that you have worked at, but I do roving entertainers work sometimes.
Amazing.
So I'm dressed occasionally as a shmoo shmeeper.
No, that's great. Yeah.
Okay,
You can say the correct term, which is a Robert Irwin impersonator.
Yes, exactly. Bobby Irwin impersonator. Or I'm dressed as a dinosaur. So we're either a dinosaur keeper or
You
the
didn't do
dinosaur.
dinosaurs at Schmelben Schmoo?
No. So I only ever did it at Schmerby Shmoo.
Schmerby.
Well known.
Yes.
Anyway, Swiftly.
Schmerby Schmafari Schmuck.
Yeah, that's what actually, So I was never allowed in the Schmishmary Schmark.
Do you know Amberly Cole? She was a dinosaur as
sounds
well. She's a puppeteer
familiar.
and a dinosaur and an actor.
Oh.
Anyway.
No, I'm sure much more talented than I am. I was in one of those inflatable T-Rex costumes.
Amazing. With the little
Not
arms.
amazing. Yeah. So we
How
did
many
it for-
children spear tackled you?
None. I think I've told this story before, and I'm also a little scared of telling it as well because it's a weird story. But the kids would always run up to hug you, but because they'd hug the dinosaur's belly, that was always a little bit lower than your midriff.
Yeah.
So they're always just headbutting you in the crotch. I know, right? And I was just like, let's touch the
It's
dinosaur.
like, that's a funny raw dinosaur.
Yeah. But we'd always have so one of us would be in the suit, one of us would be there to stop the children from doing that.
Yeah, nice.
So they were always super happy to see the dinosaurs. Animals less so. I think one of the most scared I've ever been for my life is when a lion saw me in it and it reared up and it was staring at me.
Terrifying.
And I was like, I'm probably just going to go away and annoy the monkeys instead now.
We've had to ban onesies. And so because they freak out the animals like the lions. And,
Oh my God.
I think they sent the giraffes on like the stampede once.
Giraffes are terrifying. I have fed them once at said Shmoo.
Schmerby Schmoo.
Yep.
Yep.
No, sorry, Schmelburn Shmoo.
Oh, Schmelben Schmoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I fed them there once.
Yeah.
And I was like, these things are giant.
They
Nobody
warn you
ever told
like
me that.
1,000+ kilos. Their heads of
They've got big horns.
ossicones.
Ossicorns? Ossicons?
Ossicones.
Ossicones,
Yeah,
yes.
I can't do a Scottish accent.
No,
so I
that's
can't
right.
say
And
no.
neither can I, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know what mine is anymore, but it's not Scottish. It's not Australian.
Beautiful.
And it's confusing.
That's lovely.
Yeah. Oh, thank you
You're
so much.
welcome.
You have a lovely accent. There you go.
Like
Answer a
you.
compliment with a compliment.
They are.
They terrified me.
We've had to bust up parties before because people come to like the zoo for their like corporate events, whatever, all excited, and they're like, I'm in a penguin onesie, I'm in a lion onesie, and you're like, you have to.
And this isn't for the animals. This is just for you adults. You cannot wear these.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
You
so
have
sorry.
must derobe right now. Yeah.
Please. You can walk around in anything else or nothing else.
Or nothing else.
But
I
yes.
think it's we're trying to. No, that's right. They're not allowed to wear their heads.
What?
So
Oh, the
it's the
heads.
onesie
Yes.
heads that freak you out. So it really,
Yeah.
you get to see the disappointment in the faces.
Oh, the adults in a onesie freak me out generally. Anyway,
Yeah, we're doing a public service.
right, especially if it's your corporate event. And God bless corporate people as well. We've had plenty of stories on this podcast about corporate events.
Oh, totally.
And oh my God, there's just
Man.
fun. I think if you have to work in an office all day, something just breaks inside of you.
I've done it all. I've worked as an entertainer at corporate events. I've worked as a hospo person, as a person at corporate.
You've worked as a person. Wow.
I've worked as a person. Can you
How does
believe
that
it?
pay?
I am multifaceted. You know,
Yeah.
better than an actor, surprisingly.
Yeah, well, that's not hard, I'll be honest with you. Hospitality also pays better than an actor a lot of the
Oh
time
my
as well.
God. That's right. We were talking before about the weirdest ways that you've been paid
Oh,
for
yes.
a job.
Sorry.
Yeah. What's yours? No, right.
So we were talking a little bit before the podcast started.
I'm taking this segment. This segment is called
Actually, if you can do this podcast, I'm just physically drained
Have
from
a
this
rest.
podcast.
I am draining.
Thank you. Yes, Annie got here about half an hour ago, and my God, just a barrel of energy, and I'm quite
love
a
it.
low-key old man.
I know. I need to have some of your homebrewed kombucha to
Yes.
calm
Oh,
down.
God, don't tell people that.
Oh,
I
embarrassing.
know, but I'm cool, I think, or probably not.
Have you ever been paid in scobies for an
No,
acting
I've
job?
not. No.
What about scabies?
Not yet. I have contracted it, but it
Okay.
wasn't part of the contract.
Ah.
I actually did do a TV show once where we found out halfway through one of the actors had scabies. Yeah.
Oh,
He had
man.
to take a couple of weeks off, and I was in a few scenes with him, and I tell you what, after that, I was terrified.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I used to work in pharmacy and people kind of would sidle up to you because they're embarrassed. And
Yeah.
you're like, this person wants a morning after pill. And they're
Yeah.
like, do you have anything for scabies?
You're like, yes, just please don't touch anything.
Yeah, you just douse yourself in
Yeah.
sanitizer.
Oh, that's no. But
weird.
I've never been paid in scabies.
Okay, what do you mean paid in?
Yes, so the one thing I was saying that I did get paid in, it was for an independent theatre show, which we have both done in Melbourne.
Yeah.
I've also done back in Scotland. Have you done it anywhere else as well? Any other?
Performances?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, independent theatre shows.
Independent
sorry.
theatre. Yes, yes. I mean, I was with this German director who had this, this independent theatre show, but he does a lot of them.
Oh my God, can I guess it? And we can bleep this
Yeah.
out as well. Am I allowed to say this name?
Yeah.
Is it Bite?
Yes, it is Bite.
Okay,
It is
okay.
absolutely Bite. How
can
do
say
you
whatever
know
you
this
want.
German person? I am
Oh, I don't know what to say.
traumatized. So the whole thing was like, we're going to go on overseas and
Yep.
organize. Yeah. Have you done a Bite production?
No, I have known plenty of people that have, and
Who do you know?
I don't know if I want to start naming names
Yeah, that's
on
fair.
this.
We'll
I
name
will
them
tell you
later.
afterwards, which I hate whenever I hate listening to
That's great.
podcasts. But
Tell us the goss.
yes, I'll tell you
Man,
afterwards.
there was
But
some-
yes, it is. So I mean, please tell me, please, if
It
you're
was
allowed to.
traumatizing. I mean, I don't care. I've never seen him. I wouldn't
Yeah.
do a show with him again. No offense, but
That
offense.
is what I have heard from
Mate,
everyone else.
Well, I feel like I'm trauma bonded with the other three ladies who did it for
So
life.
it was other three ladies as well.
Yeah,
It's
so maybe,
always
you know-
4 ladies.
And we figured out why,
Yep.
we think, because he was very like promoting women in theatre, but we thought it's so he could save an accommodation because everywhere we went, we were asked to share beds
Yep.
and share
Yep.
rooms. So,
Which is great. I don't know how many times you've travelled for work, but what I want to do
Mate.
is do an entire show with someone and then sleep in the same bed
yeah,
with them.
especially a terrible show.
Yeah.
And I was going to say on that job, I technically got paid in fondue because
Per city you went to, or was it one mass payment at the end?
it was a massive fondue. It was delicious. It was because towards the end we were staying with some lovely people who were hosting us because also we were hosted everywhere or paid with cheap
so
hotels.
you didn't have the Ritz, you weren't in the,
my God, not the
Hilton
Ritz.
every night.
No, just one place with nice people who took us out for fondue because they could see how hungry we were.
No.
And then it was a very fancy, very nice meal. There's quite a few of us, so we were so grateful. And then later, the director had said, "Oh no, I didn't let them pay for the meal. I paid for it." And we're like, "What?" They said they were paying for it. It's like, no, but I couldn't let them do that, so I paid them later. Because this is when we were asking about what happened to the money from our that we were promised for some workshops. And he said, "Well, that's where it went."
What? So you were paid in fondue? Oh my God.
Paid in.
Fuck.
Trauma trip, and I was so excited to go to like France and stuff. What we were doing.
That's it. And I don't want to too much on this
Oh,
as well, because
man.
I know this person's still active as well, and
Yeah.
whatever. Look, whatever. Allegedly, all that crap to cover our own tails. But
Yeah.
I've heard, you don't get paid. You
don't get paid.
paid in exposure, or
Yes.
it's great. Yep.
We did, yeah.
Perform in front of school children, did you?
Yes,
Yep.
and the workshop afterwards is how the director makes their money.
Yep.
And we did a performance. I remember at I can't remember the name of the quaint country English town. It was gorgeous, but it was snowing, so snowing that they wanted to cancel the performance, and the director
Holy shit.
wouldn't. And he made because he wanted to get paid, and I guess it wouldn't if it didn't go on. So so we performed to I think through 3 people and one very angry tech. And it was
the tech was angry because they had to come in.
yeah, exactly. Oh man, and it was so
I love it when you count audience numbers and you start including the tech in them.
absolutely.
You know it's a good show.
Even with the tech, we outnumbered them. And everyone was
no.
sad.
That's fringe show numbers right there.
Mate, I need a drink if we're going to get into this. But
I'm
we'll
so
talk
sorry.
later.
We can pause this. I can grab some drinks.
Fantastic.
We can decompress. But sorry, to go back to what I've been paid, tell me. And
yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I got paid played for one independent theatre show in Melbourne.
Okay.
I have to say, in a independent theatre, which is no longer around. It closed down. For many reasons. I won't mention names. But I got paid in 2 free bowling passes at the end of a week's worth of shows, to which at least 2 nights we sold out.
What?
Yes.
How big was the theatre?
I'd say about a 30-seater, so nothing
Okay.
crazy, but it was a black box theatre, and there was, I don't know where that money
Oh my
went.
God. How many in the show?
3 of us, plus a director
Okay.
who was also the tech.
Well, was it strike bowling? Because
Is that the one in the city?
Yeah.
It was, yes. Because I know that they hand those passes out free to their staff, which I found out after the fact. So, yeah.
oh my
Yes.
God, maybe I'll start paying people in like shmoo passes.
I would genuinely rather that.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had a shmoo pass from
From Claire?
yeah, I don't know. Are we allowed to mention that? No.
No, yeah. We
Okay.
each get tickets to give out to friends and family.
Okay, cool. Yeah, perfect.
A little
I've
bit
been
in
paid in them
number.
before then.
Yeah, that's nice.
And that's much more
In
fun
friendship.
there, I'll be honest with you.
Absolutely.
I'm terrible at bowling.
Yeah.
I'd much rather
You're
go and
laser
wind up a
tag.
monkey.
Yeah.
I presume that's what you're meant to
Man, wink at a monkey, did you say?
do. Wind up.
Oh,
you
wind
tap
up.
in the glass, show them a little...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Show them your butt.
Yeah, exactly right.
Start causing havoc.
Yeah,
have
wear
as
a
many,
onesie.
Yeah, as many
Yeah.
Robert Irwins ask you to leave.
Yes, exactly right. Wear a dinosaur costume.
Absolutely.
Say I work here, get barred. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Everyone would be very excited to see a dinosaur back. Everyone asks about them every day.
Do they?
They do. Kids
Right.
love them.
Kids do love dinosaurs. I used to love dinosaurs as a kid myself as well. I wanted to be a paleontologist until I worked out you would never actually meet dinosaurs like in Jurassic Park, which I feel like that
Heartbreaking.
that film did a real disservice to a lot
Yeah.
of children.
Do you feel like that's why? Well, speaking from my own experience, I remember the kid. I was like, I'll be an actor because I'll get to be a paleontologist and a doctor and a lawyer and all the things that my mother that wants me to be.
All these things that pay way better than me just now.
Then I get to do them all, and it's not, it might have been
It's not
undiagnosed
fun.
ADHD, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know about yourself. Born in the 80s or 90s.
Yeah.
A lot of undiagnosed stuff from back
Yeah,
then.
I know.
We're all just suffering with now.
That leads to interesting podcasts.
Yeah, exactly, right?
We hope.
Better. I don't know about you as well, but you're like younger and you're like, I get to be like an RAF pilot or a doctor, but now you're just like, I play a waiter for one episode of a
Absolutely.
TV show and then get cut out of it anyway. So
That's it. Well, that's what happened to me on, should we say, Schmabers or
we can
Neighbours?
say neighbours if we want.
Man, well, that's my first embarrassing.
Oh, beautiful. Look at that.
story.
How's that for a fucking segue?
Beautiful. And that was another embarrassing moment by Annie.
That's all right. We'll just supercut of all of these at the end.
Right.
Yeah,
No,
you can
again.
download them separately.
to form.
Separately.
Oh my God, we're both
Apologies.
so embarrassing.
Yeah, English is my second language. So that's my excuse anyway.
Scottish is my fourth. No, I
Yeah,
don't know.
exactly. I would love to hear it at the end as well.
Great. No.
Perfect. We'll just look that a few times as well. But if you do want to bust it out anymore, I
think I need to
deeply
leave.
discourage it. We'll get that drink.
Okay. So speaking of accents,
yes.
I'm actually not very good at them, right?
Me neither.
You neither?
Yeah.
Mate, we had to do like royal pronunciation in,
Yeah.
I mean, I nearly failed it in uni.
It's so funny. I love
Oh.
acting school where they're like, you can fail this subject, and you're like,
We speak in a funny
but
voice.
you don't need to do it well on TV. Like I've seen plenty of people, and I like, hey,
Yeah.
plenty of people have beaten me out for Scottish roles in Australia. Friend of the night,
You're joking.
friend of the night, friend of the show, Ben,
Ben
Knight,
Knight.
beating me out multiple times for Scottish roles.
Because he looks it. He looks that.
That's it, isn't it? Big, giant,
Braveheart.
handsome Scottish
Yeah.
ginger person.
Man, he is handsome, isn't he? There's
Yeah.
something about that Ben Knight.
Yeah, Ben, if you're listening, come back on the podcast.
We miss you.
Yeah, we really
Do your
do.
accent.
Yeah, please don't. Stop beating me for roles. But yes,
Yeah.
sorry. You were
No,
saying
no, no.
RP.
I had an audition for Neighbours. And it was for like a New Zealand part, a New
Oh,
Zealander.
wow.
And I sort of practiced, and
Sort of
I thought I practiced my best because I'm not very
Yeah.
good at them, and I did my best. And I had a fantastic audition, and I ended up booking the role. And this was right when I'd gotten back from that Bite production that we talked about before.
Oh, awesome.
So I was also pretty depressed.
Desperately needed money.
Desperately needed money. And I was so excited because it was Neighbours. You know,
Yeah, of
everyone
course.
asks when you're an actor, have you been on Neighbours?
That's the thing. And I think like it's not the pinnacle, obviously, but it's a massive, like, this is my start
Mate.
into the acting world. I'm going to be on Neighbours and
Yeah.
I'm going to be Chris Hemsworth. Like, it's just that easy transition.
Even if you're Dr. Carl,
Yeah.
you know, and you're just comfortable and having
Yeah.
a nice
Oh,
life.
I tell you
watching
what, I have a
TV.
little story about that after your story.
Okay.
And I think it's okay to tell, but I would love to
Great.
hear about your maybe Kiwi, maybe not Kiwi role.
Yes. Well, so it was Kiwi and I booked it. And then anyway, a whole bunch of embarrassing things happened. I'll see if I can smash through them. The first thing that happened was like Neighbours, the set was not as fancy as I thought. Like I sort of brought hither and thither when I came in. Have you been on it?
I did stunt
Yeah.
work on it earlier in the year.
Nice. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you're a stunty. Very
Yes,
cool.
I am a stunty
Very
as well,
cool.
yes. So nothing quite as fun as you, I'm sure.
No, way more fun.
It's not out yet, so I can't say what I did. But nothing that fun, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Well, I stole the Ramsey Street sign. So-
Did you actually?
Yeah, the
Oh my
character did.
God.
Not Annie in real life, but
No, Annie has it on her just now. She wore it around her neck
There it
here.
is.
Oh my God, she's hacking the internet.
with the Ramsey Street
Yeah,
sign.
she's downloading it from...
Oh, crap. So the first thing
MySpace.
that happened was I came in and I was sort of brought hither and thither, and then I ended up in this room and I didn't know where I was, and I'd met a couple of like this is costume and this is someone who's taking me
It's a
somewhere.
maze when you get there. Is it
Yeah.
the studios out in... not sorry, I was pointing.
Nuttawading, yeah.
Yes. Is that the studios?
I'm just seeing if I actually hacked your computer.
Oh, no. That's my partner's computer, so hack away. Yes, out in Nuttawading.
Nuttawading.
Yeah, so was it the studios out there?
Yes.
Yes.
And so I was put into this room and somebody was like there already and they were
Yep.
young and they were so nice and they would just talk to me like, what are you doing today? I was like, oh, I'm just being a guest here. They're
Aw.
like, that's so exciting. And they were like, and do you do my, and they were just like really charming and talking to me. It was so sweet. And then I said, and what do you do here? Are you one
Yeah.
of the ADs or, and he goes, no, I've been on the show about 9 years now.
9 years.
All right, well, have fun today. And then he just so that was that. And then what happened later on? So that was very good. It's all my embarrassing moments, just my feet in my mouth.
That was impressive, I'll be honest with you.
With it,
9
thank
years
you.
as well. Was it
I
Toady?
didn't watch
Did
it.
you ask?
It was Toady.
Was it Toadfish?
What's
Yeah.
his name? Toadfish? No, it wasn't Toady.
Was that a Scottish accent?
Was it Madge? No, I was trying to mispronounce Toadfish.
Oh, okay.
It came out in perfect
we can go for a
Scottish.
second take if you want. And
All right.
yeah, perfect. We'll use that as a print and moving on.
And then, well, there was actually, and this is terrible because I barely remember anyone's names. I remember April Pengilly's name because she was so sweet to me.
Aw.
And what happened with her? This beautiful model. Anyway, I've been kind of rattled from when I did my scenes because this other lovely actress, but she turns out she does an Australian accent on the show and she's actually a Kiwi.
Right.
And then I said I was playing a Kiwi and I was introduced to her and she was like, well, let's hear your accent then. I did some of my lines, which involved the word like, yeah, it was epic, and like she
Classic.
was like, epic. And I was like, I'm not going to do it right. I was like, epic. And we just did epic back and forth. Then she went, do you have to be New Zealand? I'm going to talk to the writer. I'm going to talk to the director. I don't think
my
you should do
God.
that. You can't do it. And so the scenes that I ended up doing with this actress, I talk like this. And then the scenes without her, I was like, yeah, I'm from New Zealand. I'm here on a pass and I don't want to go back home. That was an awful accent.
Better than Scottish. And that is, I cannot do a New Zealand accent. As
Can
well,
I do
so-
it?
Beautiful. That was perfect.
Thank you. Which one of you took a shit?
Oh my! I swear to God, that phrase. It used to be. Can you say the word donkey? Everybody used to ask me that, and now it's. Can you say disgusting?
Disgusting.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I'm glad that that's our cultural input
Yeah.
in the world. So
Don't worry. Have you met Australian culture?
I have. It's
Have you?
wonderful.
Hard to find.
It's a specific kind of thing, I have to say.
Mate, look
Yeah.
under the doormat.
No, you go out and further away, and there's some very specific culture, which is not always the best.
That's true.
Yeah.
True. Bloody oath. Bloody
Yeah,
shit.
exactly. But anyway, back to Neighbours.
We digressed.
Yeah.
Neighbours. Anyway, so that was one embarrassing thing. I'm just trying to remember all the embarrassing things.
No, that's quite all right.
Okay.
So I'll be honest with you, that's
Yeah.
not the most embarrassing thing that this podcast has heard about somebody
No.
on Neighbours. I have had not one, but two people almost shit their pants whilst working on Neighbours. Humble brag, I know.
That's great.
friends
What do you
of
mean
the show-
almost?
Well, friends of the show,
Yeah.
Carrie made a judge. She
Yeah.
was on for about...
I used to work with Carrie in hospitality.
Oh, no shit.
Totally. And
Okay.
she got kind of part of it, not fired, but kind of like part of like a.
Okay, I definitely know where this place was, and I think I used to work there as well.
What?
We'll talk after the podcast.
I worked there so long.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Did you sign something saying you're not allowed to talk about it on social media?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'll talk about Blondie till the cows come home. Did you work at Blondie?
No, okay, that's a
different place.
then.
Okay.
Yeah. She'd be all. She's been let
worked
go
at
from a few
Blondie.
places. Sorry, I
She
can't
went on
cut that out.
to
Can't.
bigger and better things. She's
Exactly.
always been an absolute champion.
She is amazing.
she's
Yeah.
great.
So go back and
So
listen
she
to
nearly
those episodes.
shit her pants.
Yeah, so she had a really bad gastro.
Sorry.
And-
She's amazing. What an actress.
Yeah.
But tell me when she shit her pants.
Yeah, nearly shit her pants. Allegedly, jury's out on my behalf there, I'll be honest with you, but nearly shit her pants because she was coming off some hectic gastro and didn't want to call in sick.
Of course not.
She was still very new. I know, right? She's going to be the next Chris Hemsworth, I heard. But
She's got the body for it.
Exactly, right? She has put on about 200 kilograms worth of muscle since I last saw her. But she was very nervous about that day and had to sit down in between takes because she was so out of it and so flustered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Dutch now as well. Flustered. They're my accents.
Wunderbar. No, it's German.
That was
Anyway.
perfect. And maybe Australian as well. But yeah, so she was very unfortunate to that day.
Yeah.
And then a friend of the show, Laura Brown, as well. So she works as a costumer on there.
Lovely.
So she had horrible food poisoning and
mate.
cannot be sick. Like it's something physiological or psychological that she cannot throw up.
Oh,
So it-
Claire's got that.
Oh, really?
Well, not that she can't throw up, but like if she's afraid of it, like she's a phobia of it. Yeah,
Oh my God.
Yeah, I touched her about it.
Oh, Claire, you
Hates to
weirdo.
vomit.
Yeah. Call in now, Claire. Tell us about
She'd be
this.
thrilled to shit her pants if she had food poisoning and not vomit.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that sucks.
Yeah.
I would much rather vomit, but each to their own.
right.
But yes,
Laura?
sorry, Laura had,
Laura.
yes, she had to quickly exit the set.
Absolutely.
And then because it was a location shoot, she had to be driven back by transport and almost ruined the transport van. And these are not stories that they want kept secret. They have both been told publicly on
That's
this podcast
fine.
before. So I'll be
cool.
honest, I'm a little disappointed you didn't shit your pants on Neighbours.
Well, I feel like one of the actresses thought I was trying to assault them. So that's
wow.
my third part of the
Oh,
story.
yes, please. No, tell me this.
No, it's fine. It's again beautiful April Pengilly, who's a
Yes.
model, who's gorgeous. This, I think she ended up having a storyline when she came out as a lesbian.
Okay.
And I played a queer person from New Zealand who was like, "Let's get drunk and go out." And like, I dare you, like, have you ever kissed a woman? But in a terrible, have you ever kissed a woman? I've kissed a woman. I couldn't do it. And
No,
so
that was something.
I had to do this bit where we were like having just drinks in whatever fucking part of Neighbours it was, and like kiss her.
Yeah.
And I'd never done. I've done stage kisses.
Yeah.
Even done queer stage kisses, but I hadn't done like a filmed one on Neighbours
Yeah.
with people I don't know, with an actress across from me who said my accent wasn't good. And so I asked April in between takes. I said I knew it was coming up, and I was like, I just asked her if we could practice.
And you didn't, did you? So for anyone listening that's not in the industry, this is genuinely not acceptable to ask to practice sex scenes, kissing, intimacy things in
Yes.
general. And the industry has come a long way as well, because I think if they had an intimacy coordinator on there, that would have been way better for you.
Well, to paint the picture for you as well, like so I'm sitting in a chair and I put my left hand up next to me, listener, and this is how we were sat. So
Okay,
I think
we're
I
about
wanted to practice the
6 inches apart.
logistics.
Yeah.
Because camera. How do I? So that's why I think my intention, but it came across as, "Matt, I kiss you in between takes."
Can we go back to the green room and I'll practice kissing with you?
April said, "No, thank you."
And can I get a different actor, please?
That was too late. But she's a pro, so she puckered up.
Oh, did you? And the kiss went well?
No.
It's not.
The director said I looked awkward as shit. He didn't say as shit,
Yeah.
but and I was kind of like, well, this is what I wanted.
Well, you know what you want? Oh, God. Did you say that to the director? You're like, I'm so sorry. Can we get a close set for a minute? I just need to practice this.
So weird that I wasn't asked back. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Maybe, listener, if you want to go back and look at it as well, just send the video of Annie kissing.
Yeah, you can look
to her.
up the character's name, which
Yeah.
was a great name, Danielle Southgate.
Oh, okay. That sounds like a made-up name.
Anyway, so that topped the cherry.
Wow.
Not knowing who people who acted on Neighbours were,
Yeah.
being told I wasn't a very good actor, and then assaulting one of the cast members.
An indecent proposal to one of the cast members. I don't
But
know.
not sexy. It wasn't sexy.
I don't know about you, but exclusively intimacy on camera.
Mate.
It's never sexy. It's never fun.
No.
It's never glamorous. I don't know what, like, so many people, often weirdos, and they're like, you an actor? You ever do a sex scene? I bet that'd be great fun. They're never the people you want to be
I've
talking
never
to.
been asked, Seb. Must be something about you.
I am a skeezy old man, so maybe that's why. But I don't know how much intimate stuff you've done on camera. It's always horrendous.
That's it. I've shut down like
Really?
a clam now. I think.
Wow, exclusively in your contracts. I will not look at or touch another human being.
Hand holding must be have several people in attendance. Make sure I do not say anything.
No one will ask me to practice this hand holding beforehand as well.
Everyone makes jokes about getting cancelled, but
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I could be.
I know,
Someone
but it's
tried
out
hard
of
enough.
ignorance. A lot of that kind of stuff as well.
Oh,
I feel
totally.
like, yeah, it's
Cancel
not out of-
culture can kiss my butt, but don't say that. No.
How dare you?
I know.
Anyone that's wanting to listen, we will give out Annie's Instagram handle at the end, so go and cancel her.
Yeah, I'm sure I've got, and because I don't use my Instagram enough because I'm a terrible self-promoter / actress. But there is a picture on there, I think, of me on Neighbours.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, looking like a thumb. Because I was a bit, it's fine. We will fluctuate,
Yeah.
but I was a bit overweight and depressed when I came back and ate my weight in
Fondue?
food. Yeah, fondue.
Hello. Now, before we get into our next story, I've got to tell you the main reason why I'm able to fumble through my awkward and embarrassing day-to-day occasions. Coffee. Now, fortunately for myself and all of the listeners, we have paired with one of Melbourne's best coffee companies, Coffee on Q, a coffee worth talking about. Get ready to caffeinate yourself through your next awkward moment with Coffee on Q's signature Elevate blend. Crafted in-house with precision, each sip delivers delightful flavour notes of strawberry, chocolate and marmalade. And here's the deal you won't want to miss. Coffee on Q is offering an exclusive discount to all our listeners. Simply use the code WBFT15 at checkout to enjoy an incredible 15% off all coffee purchases. That's right, WBFT15 is a key to savings, making sure you're properly awake to remember your next big embarrassing moment. Now, this code is valid for all coffee products, so make sure you stock up on your favourites. And the best part? You can use the code WBFT15 as many times as you like. So don't miss out on the opportunity to enjoy the finest coffee Melbourne has to offer. Simply visit Coffee on Q, and that's QCUE.com.au, and enter the discount code WBFT15 at checkout to unlock 15% off your next coffee order. That's WBFT15 at coffeeonq.com.au. Coffee on Q, where awkward moments pair perfectly with your daily cup. I'm not surprised as well. Like touring, I don't know how much you've worked away from home.
That was about it.
Oh,
Just
is
that,
it?
like 8-week trip, whatever.
Oh, it's fucking tiring.
Yeah, man.
I just got back from Tassie for a month shooting down there, and it was exhausting.
I bet.
Yeah,
And
I
it's like,
fucking hate it.
people like, because my partner travels a lot for his work, and everyone's like, what are you seeing? Like, what touristy stuff you got? And they're like, nothing. I'm working, and then I'm sleeping in the hotel.
Yeah, right. And I'm feeling like shit because I'm always eating in a different place every
Yeah.
single day. I can never sleep well. My clothes are all dirty all the time. I stink. My skin's terrible.
Glamorous.
Yeah, I'm always sick because I always sit next to sick people on any form of transport I'm in.
I got scabies.
Yeah, I got scabies because of this disgusting actor I worked with. I'm only joking as well if that actor is listening.
That's
They're
fine.
not. I won't name names, but they weren't disgusting.
Imagine if April Penguilly's listening to this and she had like, she's like, I forgot about that.
April,
Really.
come on if you want to give a rebuttal to Annie as well.
I do think you're a lovely, nice person, and sorry that happened.
That part is edited in afterwards because Annie is freaked out now. So
Oh, absolutely.
yeah,
Oh,
no,
man.
but I'm sure, like everyone, I think most people that go on Neighbours are a little bit sort of like deer in the headlights a lot of the time
It
as
totally
well.
was. is.
And you get on, and there's like 30 people there that work there every day, every week for years, and they're all so familiar. And then you get your little like day players and stuff like that, and you're like,
excuse me,
sorry.
And I'm like, sorry, can we practice kissing? And then I shit my pants.
Yeah, that would be my dream. If you can get back on, neighbours, if you're listening, I know you've just come back for your most recent block back on Amazon. Please get Annie on, and she promises she will shit her pants.
Absolutely, whatever you want, neighbours.
Yes, anything. I will shit my pants on any production.
Guess what? Danielle's Bick. Oh no, I'm never going to get a job again.
Maybe not as a Kiwi. No, I'm joking. That's far better than my Kiwi accent as well.
Go on, give it a go.
Daniel's Beck. Oh no.
That was good. I thought that was all right. Okay. According to Annie standards, that was tip top.
Okay, thank you. I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult. I'm joking. Compliment. I'm taking it as a compliment.
Oh, good.
I will very quickly tell my little story from. It wasn't on Neighbours, but I shot a different TV show out there. Oh my God, what was it called again? Olivia Newton-John biopic. Hopelessly
Olivia?
Devoted to You.
That's the one.
Yeah. So I was in the shot-for-shot remake of Let's Get Physical music video.
Stop.
I was one of the
With
men.
Delta?
Yes. So we were shooting the very first day, like of the entire production, and everyone's like, "Do you know who Olivia Newton-John is? Like who's playing her?" Blah blah blah.
No,
'Cause nobody had known. Yeah, because her name wasn't on the call sheet or anything like that. It was a big secret. And then Delta Goodrum rocks up, and I was like, and I don't know who she was at the time because I'm not Australian.
She's a blip on Australian huge. Anywhere else in the world.
I know. So everyone's like, "Oh my God, it's Delta," and I was like, cool.
Yeah.
I know who Olivia Newton-John is.
Yeah.
And then so we were doing like the Let's Get Physical music video, and like we were like working out in Speedos and baby oil.
Right.
Yeah. But we got to go and sit in the green room when we weren't filming, so we went to have some little naps in there.
Cute.
But all of the Neighbours actors, like all of the
the extras and
no, so all the people are on it for forever. So like Toadie and Dr. Carl and everything have all their little cubby holes. Yeah. And they got all their fan mail delivered to there. And Dr. Carl had the most fan mail out of everyone, and some of the other people had none. And it was very sad.
What did my pigeonhole look like?
It was actually burned and defaced. And I had a big red mark across it saying cancelled. So I didn't realise that was you at the time.
A love letter from April.
It was actual April. She was in there with a hatchet that day, just chopping it up into little pieces. So
I'm glad she got a better love interest.
Did she? She got a better one now. I reckon we cancel that person, get Annie back on. Yeah.
Yes, cancel them all.
We can swiftly move on from Neighbours now.
Dr. Carl is a sweetheart person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't met him in person, but his cubbyhole was adorned with beautiful fan mail from presumably mostly Australia. Well,
and England.
Mostly England. Yeah.
I can't believe it's bloody back.
I know, right? Yeah. Thank you, Neighbours, for having me since you've been back on as well. It was very fun to play whatever the role I was. I can't say yet, but thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, I was going to try to do a Kiwi accent. I was going to do Irish.
Thank you. Wait.
I'm so sorry to every single New Zealand listener for our accents as well. Perfect. All right, moving on. That's a wrap. Also, moving on from Neighbours, do we have any other particularly embarrassing moments from the acting world?
Yeah, because of being an actor and comedian is embarrassing.
Well, see, we've had plenty of friends of the show who are comedians, and they get embarrassed by nothing. Everything either it like
rolls
it's
off you.
It's like fucked up, bombed in front of this crowd, whatever. But then I do have also some other people, friends of the show, Mish Wittrup, Annie Louie. They have quite a few embarrassing things from the comedy world. So
well, Mish and I went to.
Oh yes, sorry.
Oh no,
I was going to say, where do you lie as far as embarrassing?
Well, I think I'm better in a duo with Lena. It's nice having a second. I feel like I have my level for embarrassment has disappeared working with her because I have so much fun.
And that's from your duo, Annie and Lena.
Annie and Lena. Lena's the best person. We have an absolute fucking blast together,
which helps so much.
Yeah,
if you're not working with people that you don't like.
Tough.
Yeah,
when
it sucks.
Friendship becomes a working relationship.
I know.
Man, we had those struggles, but
for sure.
She's the bum.com. But when I used to do like stand up by myself, and this isn't a funny story, but I remember like being asked to host one time, and I was really green, and I was sort of doing it for practice and exposure, and I can't believe anyone asked me to host, let alone me saying yes. I remember like running out of the space when the show was over, like bye, and just bursting into tears on the street. I did a bad job. It's saying, and welcome to the stage. Blah blah blah. That was so bad.
Oh my God. You genuinely, and I've not just had comedians and actors on here, I have had production designers, costumers, makeup artists. Everybody has had a cry after a day. So it sucks. But it's also in the industry.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, I read something once that like performing on stage is the like stress equivalent of having a small car accident.
It really is.
Yeah.
And then the come down afterwards sometimes as well. You're either so full of adrenaline or you hate yourself.
Yeah.
So deeply.
Man, that's the swings and roundabouts, isn't it?
And then sometimes it's recorded forever for people to go back and watch
my
you
gosh.
awkwardly kiss another beautiful lady on telly.
I'll actually go back and watch. You know when you go back and watch old stuff, like sometimes you're like, oh, and other times you're like, oh, I lost it. I had it.
Yeah, I know. It's so dependent on everything behind the scenes as well, obviously. I cannot watch anything I'm in without being like, that's terrible. But then sometimes enough time has passed, you're like, that wasn't so bad.
so bad.
Or you go back and you're like, why did I think that was good?
Yeah.
What was I doing there? That is terrible.
Or like, and then something will come screaming back at your head and be like, oh, that's what the director meant.
Yeah.
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah. That is every single audition I go for. I'm driving home afterwards, especially now, like very rarely get asked to audition in the room anymore.
Yeah.
But if you do and you're driving home and you're like, oh, fuck, that's what they wanted.
God damn it.
I always feel like driving back and being like, I understand now.
Exactly. It's like when you have an argument and you think of all the things you meant to say.
I know, right? That's every audition or every performance in my experience as well.
I think I'm an actor by accident. I was thinking this when I was on my way here. I don't know how this, because, think about embarrassing things, just random things pop in your brain. But I think like, I kind of always wanted to be an actor, but what like propelled me into going to university for it was that I did quite well in my like VCE, so year 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, drama solo. And then I had quite a big ego about it because like I got, top class, whatever is before the big one.
Oh, wow.
And I played someone from Long Day's Journey into Night. I can't really remember. Yeah, you do know Neil? And there's like a character, like a woman whose hands apparently are all like gnarled and stiff and she can't do anything with them. And my big plan was to like paint my hands really grotesquely.
Yes.
And then because I was a fucking idiot 17-year-old, I was running late to the exam.
Yep.
And then I remember doing the monologue and halfway through getting down and talking about like, I think the lines with my hands. And I looked down at my hands, I went, my hands, realized I had not put any of the makeup on them and they were just regular looking hands. And then I had true panic and I was like, my hands, how could I? And then the rest of I was just incredible because of the true devastation.
So that's no, you're totally fine. We have peaked a little bit there, but that's totally fine. But I think that's what acting is. If you can fuck yourself up in real life,
that's it.
Then that's all you need.
I didn't get through the next round because I thought, well, I'm obviously a brilliant actor. I have it now. The next round, I covered my hands and like paint was really schmug and I didn't get through.
I know when you get too comfortable with acting, sometimes you're like, I'm good, and you're like, that was one of the worst performances I've ever done in my life.
So everything leading up to this moment is a mistake, Seb. I don't know how we wound up here.
Well, I mean, we're actors, so obviously we've made many, many mistakes. Firstly, choosing this as a career.
Oh my God.
Secondly, pursuing it as a career.
Let's call it schmishmear. It feels more close to what it really is.
Yes. You went to Fed Uni as well, or was it Ballarat's art school, or whatever it was called at the time?
It was called the University of Arts. No, it was University Ballarat Arts Academy, UBAA. But like in its heyday, it was called BAPA.
Now it's just FU.
Now it's FU.
Yeah.
But yeah, listening to Mish's episode, she had mentioned being a rock for a 4-hour class.
Yep.
I enjoyed being a rock.
Did you?
I could be a rock. I could be fire. I remember that class was elements. I did not enjoy being a baby for an hour and a half. I remember being so furious because it was something about like they've got no inhibitions, they've got no judgment, and all I did was sit there and judge and seethe and go goo goo gaga and make angry eyes at the teacher when she walked past.
Yeah, it's that kind of stuff, and I get it. Like acting school for the most part is breaking you down so you have no shame, and then rebuilding you into different things.
I think I forget the rebuild part. They're like, let's break you down, and then you finish and like,
get out of here. And if you don't get an agent in the first 6 months, you're fucked.
Done. Say yes to everything.
Oh, say yes to every star now job.
See this German who's going to cheat you with fondue. Say yes.
Go with him, have a mental breakdown at some point, come back home and really question your career choices. Yes, that is perfect.
That's everyone's journey, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Accountants do that as well, right? But yeah, acting school is full of those kind of things. And you're right. So you're always a little bit kind of, I don't know, self-conscious, and then you kind of get into the cult enough, and then you're like, no, this is what everyone does. And then you get back out into the quote-unquote real world, and you're like, oh, I just spent 3 years being an absolute dickhead. And nobody wants me to break down this character. I just need to say 4 lines of, hi, I'm your server today. What can I get for you? And then you're just like, hi, I am your server today.
Yeah.
Can I offer you some specials?
See, what I've done is I've imagined the life that this server has, and how they lost their father at a young age, and how they, and you do all that.
They've come back and they've got kids at home, and all they want to do is get home. But secretly, deep down, they want to be an artist.
The trick is, the less you fucking care.
Genuinely,
Mate.
It's so funny.
And all we do is care, because it's our souls on the surface.
And we're just getting judged by every fucking person all the time.
Oh my God.
I know, like, this is us just complaining about being actors now. But there's much harder jobs out there, of course.
It's just embarrassing being an actor. That's what this podcast
is. It is. Especially sometimes depending on what you get hired for as well. We're like, yeah, you just turn up and like dance around in like little underwear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, cool. And then you're like, do this dumb stuff. And you're like, I don't feel comfortable enough to say no.
Or you leave and go, I probably should have said no.
Yeah, well. I know, right? There's always TV commercial auditions. That's what I always feel like in them. Yep. And now getting a little bit older, I feel more comfortable saying no to things. Whether it be auditions or whether it be actual things being asked of me on set, which doesn't happen often, I'll be honest with you, but every now and again I just be like,
example?
No. Like embarrassing stuff I've been asked to do on.
Maybe you said yes or no to.
So some of this stuff is, I'm a terrible singer. I didn't say no to it recently, but luckily it got cut out of me singing to my dying mother in bed and something. And it was so bad, and it was I could not remember the lyrics of the song, and it was like literally, except all of my voice was just like, and this is what I'm singing, like, and it's just, you know how it is on camera, everyone's watching you, and then everyone's just trying to make contact with you, and oh my God, it's bad.
I've had more theatre experiences. I did like a Anzac Centenary touring show. I forgot I toured that, but I remember there was a part where I had to sing because my sons had died. But you're just in front of the most apathetic fucking school children.
Oh my God, school children.
And you have to sing words like, I held him to my bosom. And you're like, ugh.
And they were like, oh, bosom.
Shut up.
Yeah. And you can just see them there, just like dead behind the eyes, being like, well, at least I'm not in maths.
And then you're like, I know. You kind of make eye contact and shrug. You're like, I'm sorry about this.
It's like, I would rather not be here as well, but this is the only paid work I can get just now.
And even this is under investigation.
Swiftly moving on. Did you have any more embarrassing times from drama school, or is it all just kind of just drama school?
Let's see. I've broken, I think, a record amount of. I've sat on and broken a chair, a stool, and a like a little bed in production.
Oh, that's impressive.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really balls to the wall. In a rehearsal, I smashed a hole through a wall. I ended up working with these people for years, but like this is back in the day.
Annie, you sound terrifying.
I'm just Full Metal Jacket.
Oh yeah, everything I come into, I hate production designers. I just want to ruin everything. I just want to
please people, which is a huge problem. But like, I had this director that was like, now in this rehearsal, I want you to try like a really like surprising entrance, and my idea was that I would somehow magically had a parkour and I would leap off a wall into the space, like,
oh wow.
And what happened was just I put my whole leg through a wall, and then the company had to like pay to get it fixed, and they had to like patch it, and then the place that we were hiring was like, now that doesn't match, you need to pay more. And if you go to 314 Church Street in Richmond, and you are in the kitchenette, you can see where Annie put her hole through the wall. I've done everything, man.
That is so good. Have you parkoured before as well? Just a question.
No, but I just thought I could. As an actor, you can do it.
As an actor, I'm playing a parkourist.
I can just delve into the role. Yeah. I just imagined how cool I would.
Everybody thinks that before they try parkour. It is a lot fucking harder than it looks.
I was trying. Just flew at a wall.
Was the director pleased with your entrance?
What entrance? I stuck my leg through a wall.
Your leg entering the wall.
Very
Perfect.
impressed. It was all what anyone could talk about for the longest time.
Was that because it was under investigation as well by OH&S and work cover?
And who's going to pick up the patch now who's going to pick up the patch? No, Annie, it's fine. We're not paying you, so the least we can do is fix the wall you broke.
We've plugged it up with fondue and we're going to paint over with it.
Thank you. Oh my God.
That is fantastic. I'm always so happy when people don't get hurt, but when they destroy something. And it sucks for everyone that has to fix it.
Yeah.
But it's always, and every single, I've broken a stool before because you're like, I'm in the moment. And this is like, it's such an early on thing in your career. You're like, I want to kick over a stool.
Yeah.
And you punt it on stage and then the little screws fly off and you're like, fuck, I have to sit on this later now and the seat's no longer attached.
Oh man, I wish mine was that cool. I just sat on them.
Oh, what's it? Okay. Do you care to explain what happened?
No, I don't know. I think it's just uni students doing we would write shows in the meantime. I wouldn't. I would just lob onto people who are more clever than I.
That's
write shows in the holidays.
Well.
Yeah, and we didn't. I guess we didn't check the structure of the milk crate stools or whatever we were putting together at the time. I always get on with it though. I just fall on my ass and get back up and be like, well, that was weird.
Whoopsies.
Anyway, Johnny, are you going to war or what?
Johnny, are you leaving for World War II yet? Bring back a better seat. I do love some independent theatre and it's always minimalist set design through a choice of their own or budgetary things. I did this one show a few years back and it was for Midsummer, which is a big LGBTQA festival in Melbourne. And it was quite a popular show considering... was
it Alice in Wonderland? What was it?
No, it wasn't Alice in Wonderland. It was an all-male cast with quite a lot of nudity. So it sold very well. Yep, there we go. And at one point, I had to lay naked on stage in a bed, but they didn't have a bed. So I had to go in the dark and lay down some couch cushions and bring a sheet on with me.
And they're like separated?
Yep,
so
they're
your
separated.
ass is pure on the floor.
Kissing the ground. And then... Sweaty butt print as well. I'm a sweaty man.
We've all sweated. Every actor leaves disgusting ass and footprints everywhere we go.
Well, especially when there's no costume to stop it.
Yeah.
And also, I was just like halfway through the run, I was like, are these couch cushions clean? I'm naked on them. I did not ask this beforehand.
They're clean now.
Yeah, they are not clean now, trust me. They are
so
disgusting.
funny.
But it's just that classic being like, trying to lay there like this
luxuriate,
quote unquote, beautiful naked man spotlight. And I'm just like lying, sliding off couch cushions as there's a spotlight hitting me.
And blow up air mattress or anything that was like...
Yeah. Well, that would at least be a mattress. I just look like a homeless man sleeping naked on the floor. But anyway.
They were covered in newspapers and...
no, right.
Theatre.
That show didn't pay too badly as well.
Fantastic.
Though.
Yeah, because the queers look after people.
I know, right? They love the arts and they will pay not handsomely, but they will pay for a theatre ticket.
Yeah.
I also think any show with nudity in it is just some pervert's dream.
Yeah.
So they will pay to come and see it.
Man, I've done a show in a comedy festival before. Now, I might ask you to edit this part out.
We can absolutely do that.
Well, it's embarrassing.
I'll blackmail you later.
It's embarrassing because I was like, absolutely, I'll do that.
Yep.
So I worked with this beautiful group of Asian Australian actors. I'm pointing out the ethnicity because it is important to the story, I feel. It might have been a setup. Anyway, no, it wasn't. They were beautiful people. They're my friends. And so there was this woman, Vietnamese woman who'd written a play due to a series of unfortunate circumstances. It was on in 2 weeks and she wanted to put it on, but her director had issues and she didn't have any actor. And so she gave it to my friend, Beng O, who is an amazing director. And he wanted to make it as kind of cool and interesting and whatever as possible. And so he decided to race flip the roles. So it was kind of written about herself. And so I played her, a Vietnamese woman. And then my another amazing friend, John Mark Desengano, who's Filipino, he played my white husband.
Okay.
And then so every single other person on the crew and in the cast was Asian Australian. And there was a part where I, again saying I'm Vietnamese, and then did a just broad Vietnamese accent while I was talking. It was in a monologue. I was asked to talk about and then drop it immediately. And they were all like, yes, this is great. This is really saying something. And then I realized about halfway through the run, as audiences were not very impressed, starting the show with a white woman talking to them in a very racist accent.
I'm so sorry. I'm speechless with this one just now.
Mate,
That is.
I was like, I'm here for the process.
Yeah,
like,
of
yes,
course,
guys, this sounds like a great, flip of whatever. And the writer was on board and everything.
Yeah.
But it just, there's video of this somewhere, and I won't tell you where to find it.
Oh my God.
But it's me playing, a Vietnamese.
And the accent at the start of the show.
And it's because Bang is a amazing director, very high intellectual concepts, and he, I think, just thought it would be funny.
And did the audience respond in a humorous way?
I think I don't know. I think people who got it.
People that didn't really
were
didn't.
very confused.
Yep. I'm
And then it got dropped quite quickly, and the story went on, and then it became clear. But oh boy,
Yeah.
what a rough start!
What an opening to a show, because generally the first, 10 minutes, you really need to get the audience on board with a theatre show.
Oh man, I'm surprised nobody left.
Yeah, maybe they were too awkward.
A very small theatre.
I have yet to walk out of a theatre show because I am too awkward.
Yeah, I can't even walk out of a movie.
Really?
Well, I tend to pee. But
See, I can't do it to pee because I'm too scared of missing anything.
Really?
I'll happily leave if I think it's dog shit.
I love whispering to people, what did I miss?
Yeah, oh really?
Okay. And maybe I'll see it again and I'll pee in a different place and I'll know what this is.
Yeah. I'm just going to come back again tomorrow, but I will make sure I pee in a different part. And I can sort of, memento this film together. Yeah. But
anyway, I don't know if we need to keep that or cut that out, but that's one of my most embarrassing secrets of being a
that is
doctor.
truly amazing. And the fact it's on video as well. That is the horrible thing about living in this modern age. Everything's on fucking
Everything's
video as well.
Video.
I have a play I did whilst I was in drama school when I played. Oh, this is similar vein as well. So
look, we're just if you can't see us,
you can't see us, good.
We're rubbing our eyes, just in a turmoil.
So, I feel bad about this as well. This was a long time ago. So I did a play in drama school, which was an original work.
Yeah.
The writer was on board with us doing it in drama school.
Yeah.
But my part was written for an Indian gentleman.
Yeah.
So the first
Back in the day.
the first rehearsal, I did an Indian accent, which quickly, and God bless the director, was like, "You're not Indian. Why are you doing that?" And I was like, "It said it in the script," and he's like, "No, we're going to change that."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Why didn't you tell me that before this?"
But no excuse, but even like 10 years ago, like when Apu on The Simpsons was still kicking
exactly.
on, like you knew it was a bit cheeky, but it was bad.
It's not, and I think this must have been about 16 years ago for myself.
Oh, that's such a long time.
So it's fine, right? Do not cancel me.
Listen.
But it was like I ended up playing a Polish guy instead.
Right.
I have it on video. It's awful. I was not
Fantastic.
good.
Oh, you and me both.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on today.
No, it's good. I think we both need to go and have a little lie down after this because I'm profusely sweating now. I'm always so grateful for people that come on this podcast because it's a lot of the time it's people that I admire their work and I'm fans of genuinely. I said this last week with friend of the show Matt Stewart, and I was like, I genuinely admire people that I bring on because otherwise, what's the point? But I bring them on to talk about the lowest points in their career, and everything they tell just is such a bad reflection of who they are. They are everybody that I've had on is infinitely talented in whatever aspect of arts and entertainment they work in.
Yeah.
And it kind of come to me recently. I've been like, I should really make more of an effort to see how good everyone is whilst they're on the podcast, because otherwise it's just all these
you open the
stories.
wounds, you pour lemon in them,
do.
and then you say, now get out.
And I tell you what, Annie, almost everybody goes home, messages me at night and be like, fuck, I've just remembered this story, and then they'll message me the next day and be like, yeah, I'm just thinking about that stuff all night now.
Absolutely. Since you asked me to do this, and I forgot I honestly have forgotten most of the stories.
Yeah.
I didn't plan to
I know. And it's
something
so
about
bad.
you, man.
And I am so grateful for it as well. And I share all of my stories as well.
That's
I'm so happy to tell any of my stories.
It's
But
great. People make mistakes. People, we are little puppets who don't know any better sometimes. as
exactly,
well.
right?
Yeah.
And when you're starting out as well, you're so young and naive, and
Yeah,
you come into the
hopeful.
industry and you're like, I'm going to be the next Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
And you're like, I would be lucky if Chris Hemsworth looked at me on set now. But it's just so much of it, and you're just, you get told to make such big choices in acting as
Yeah.
well, and you're like, sometimes those choices are dog shit. And that's when you need good friends or good
Yeah.
director or crew around you to be like, you're not Indian. Don't do
Yeah.
that accent.
And it's that failing up thing as
Yeah.
well. Like, if we hadn't done all that, like, what do you learn? How do you get better? How do you know you're going to do that? It's like,
I know.
Yeah, that's what I'm sure all the comedians say. Like, you have
Yeah.
to bomb.
Well, exactly. That's it. And
Yeah.
at least like with comedians or with stand-up comedy, you bomb in a room and it's kind of just forgotten about. People
Yeah.
expect it. Whereas acting, it's recorded a lot of the time. And you can watch it back forever.
Yeah.
And it's on YouTube under some shitty student short film.
Like, again, like Bart Simpson. Look, you can pinpoint the exact moment you did the racist accent.
Exactly.
Or you tried to. You
And
made
so-
April very uncomfortable.
The exact moment your career ended here.
Here, yeah. You can see
Recorded
it.
for everyone to see. Yeah. Then you're just sitting there being like, why do I keep watching this point back
Oh my
over and over
God.
again?
And why do we keep? Yeah, why do we keep coming back?
Yeah,
why do we,
exactly.
Yeah.
Because we're all going to be those Chris Hemsworths one day.
What's wrong with us? I don't think we are.
Oh, fuck.
Oh shit! Oh, but not. No.
No.
My psych is trying to tell me to like deflate the dream a little bit. She's like,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be the whole thing that matters in your life.
I know, and I'm trying to get better
Yeah.
with that as well now. I'm like, that's why I started this podcast as well, just so I
Yeah.
get to do something every week. That's
Is this all Schadenfreude?
yes, that's exactly what Matt Stewart said last week as well. And I was like, fuck, it is. And if I was a smarter man, I would have named the podcast that.
Oh.
But again, I said I don't know how to fucking spell that, so it would have been a nightmare.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How would you search for that? It's quite a smart
genuinely what I
marketing.
said last week as well. But it's bringing up old wounds.
Yeah.
Just reopening them for
You gotta-
entertainment purposes.
You got to remember, you're like, I got this nice dog. I got this nice
Yeah.
person I live with. I got-
Exactly right. I got a partner. I've got a
Yeah.
dog. I'm doing all right. Like
Yeah.
I don't.
I
I
can
get
afford headphones.
exactly right. These are Kmart brand headphones that I'm wearing just now,
Yeah.
but they're better than nothing.
That's it.
Yep,
With
exactly.
Those big brands trying to rob us blind. You're doing well.
Exactly. But Dr. Dre, if you are listening, I would take a pair of headphones. Please send me some headphones, Mr. Dre.
Mr. Dre.
I'll call him
Mr. Dreddies.
Damn it. Well, he's not my doctor, so I feel uncomfortable calling him Dr. Dre. But yeah, like all that kind of stuff. And it's like, I think it's a good thing that for anyone that's starting out in the industry, especially, like you will fuck up a lot and it will be embarrassing. And maybe if
Yeah.
we can help you in any slight ways of not taking every single audition or every single job as
Yeah.
well, it really does help. And then even when you do start getting a bit better and I start getting a bit more jobs and getting better paid jobs, you'll still fuck up on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, even if you have like, you know, because your peers are often people at the same like stage in life as
Yeah.
you, who it's like, oh my God, you did that? I would never do that.
Yeah.
Come and chat to us.
Yeah.
We'll be like, oh, honey, I did it. All right.
Oh, I could write a book on that.
I nearly shat my pants.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes, so I've not shut my pants on Neighbours, but I nearly shut my pants during a Shakespeare audition once. So
Oh, Shakespeare is powerful.
yes, it wasn't Shakespeare. It was some very dodgy food from the night before, but that is one of the driving forces for this podcast.
Yeah.
If you want to hear that story, go back to the first episode. It's
Fantastic.
not fun. It's also why I hate Shakespeare now.
Oh, that's why.
Willie Shakespeare, you did this to me.
Willie.
But I don't know where this podcast has gone off the rails.
Oh, that's what I do to all podcasts.
But it's great. I love the energy, I'll be honest with you. This is contagious.
Thank you.
Just like shingles.
Aw,
Yes.
that's
Shingles? Shingles.
Scabies?
Scabies. Oh my God, yes. I was like, shingles, that's not right. I can't even get the fucking callbacks to my
Oh,
podcast
man.
correct.
yeah.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
we'll start bringing this towards a close.
Do it.
Did you have any last stories that you wanted to finish us off with?
No. I was just
beautiful.
I will sing you a little song if you want.
Oh, I would absolutely
We
love
talked
that.
about scabies. Do you know Alex Dyson, who was
Yeah.
a radio presenter and
Yes,
written a lot of books? We grew up in the same place, the same town,
no
and we would
shit.
do like shows together. And I remember seeing a show that he did once where he had to sing a song about, it was called Parasite of Love. And we sang it for years after. And it was about like, I want to be your scabies, baby. I want to be your parasite of love. And that's what I think of whenever anyone mentions scabies.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And he's managed to shake that off. I'm glad I brought it back for
Yeah,
him.
good.
But, yeah.
Go ahead, send that to Alex as well. Yeah, everyone. I want everyone listening just now. Send it to Alex Dyson. Yeah. He's doing a little too well, I think. We just need to knock him down a peg or two.
That's how we get up there.
Exactly. That's what I said again. All of this podcast is just blackmail.
Once Delta falls, I'm in.
I'm getting Delta back that day, yeah. That was a no phone set. She was on her phone multiple times a day.
Well,
just
it's
saying,
Delta.
I maybe shouldn't have said that
If
as
you
well.
got pipes like hers, no, that's
Exactly.
fine. We have to wrap up. Never mind.
No, it's fine. We can continue going.
No, I just talking about another story. I was going to talk about how on Jamila Jamil's podcast, she talked about a celebrity she interviewed who insisted that she wanted like a certain fluffy breed of puppy with her interview, and then. No, but so they arranged like a nice family who had just a litter. Then they had them to play with and run around during the interview because this is what they was on her ride or whatever. And then she left, and only after they left, they noticed that one of the puppies was gone, and the celebrity was wearing a big fluffy coat, and she just fully stuck the puppy in a fluffy coat and left.
What?
And the rumor is it was Mariah Carey, but
Allegedly. Oh my God, what the fuck?
yeah,
Is this you just telling me you're going to steal my dog now as well?
maybe you'll have nothing left in your life. You'll have to concentrate on acting, and that'll be all you have.
Fuck, that's already gay. My dog's the only thing that's getting me through my life just now. Fuck.
Dogs are great.
They are as well. We both have dogs as well with their own personality problems.
Wow, you, me, and Mish, we all anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something about us that we adopt problem dogs.
I think that's actors. We just want to fix something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's good as well, adopting troubled dogs or rescue dogs and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
And we try and fix them.
We've got too much empathy and overconfidence.
and time on our hands.
Yeah. Well said.
Yeah, probably just the latter as well. But yes, thank you so much for coming on again, Annie. That was genuinely fantastic. If people want to find you, we did promise them, what is your home address and your phone number?
Okay, well, my home address has just changed and I've forgotten it, but I'll send it to you later.
I'll put it in the show notes.
Okay, great. Rental crisis, but
Yeah.
but you can find me at Annie Lumsden on Instagram. I'm Annie Lumsden 0 on TikTok because I tried to take the handle Annie Lumsden. Somebody else already had it, and I was like, that jerks, put Annie Lumsden 0, and then it was me that had Annie Lumsden, and I just forgot that I'd made that account. So it's Annie Lumsden 0 on
Wait,
TikTok.
so do you have 2 TikTok accounts?
Well,
Or
one of them I can't get into.
Does that have anything on it?
I don't think so. Just
Follow
shame.
both of them. I mean, that's every TikTok
That'd
account.
be very funny.
That's why I deleted mine.
Oh my god! And I do want to spruik a fantastic podcast that I was lucky enough to be a part of. Speaking of amazing queer people, it's called Starship Q Star.
Oh my god! Oh, fantastic!
Do you know this?
Yes,
No?
I do. There's a lot of very talented Melbourne artists.
Yeah.
on that. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. So Lena Moon even and wrote for it. These two incredibly talented wife and wife duo, Megan and Lauren. And anyway, if you look up Starship Q Star, and if you want to give it a listen, it's about queer people in space, and it is based off the time that I think NASA wanted to send an all-female crew to space because they thought, well, there'll be no sexual relations that way.
I think NASA needs to do a little bit of Googling, but
It's very funny, and the podcast is very funny. And
it's a narrative as well, isn't it?
A narrative podcast, and they've just gotten through the first round of Fresh Blood, which is an initiative at ABC in Australia. So everyone listens to the podcast and gets amongst it, and then you can watch the shorts when they make them and they come in.
Oh no shit! Oh, that's so cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
Fresh Blood is a fantastic initiative as well, even though it didn't pick up my pitch
Yeah,
this
mine
year.
neither.
How dare they? But no.
But we love you.
Yeah, they have picked up some other fantastic ones as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely go and listen to that. And you have Annie and Lena as well.
And Annie and Lena.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Annie and Lena on the socials.
Yep.
I think that's about it. But yeah, we'll do a comedy festival show next year. So that's
Fuck yeah.
next year.
And all of that information will be on the socials, I presume, around about that time
Yeah,
as well.
definitely. We've got a website, we've got socials, look up Annie and Lena comedy.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. I'll chuck all that in the show notes as well.
Thank you for doing that.
Thank you for all of these accents, Annie, I have to say. I was going to do the little spook of this podcast at the end. Would you like to do it in your Kiwi accent or your Scottish accent?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Well, spooky. Thanks.
So,
Listen to, go on.
Won't be forgetting that pod on all the socials.
Won't be forgetting that pod on all the socials.
Are you Oliver Twist now?
Please, sir, can I have some more spooking?
Send me your head on YouTube and Instagram.
Send me your head on YouTube and Instagram.
And please rate, review the podcast 5 stars and tell your friends.
Please rate and review the podcast 5 stars. Tell your friends.
Oh my God. Annie is available for all voiceover work, narrative, audiobooks. Hit her up right now.
That's right. She costs a mere pot of fondue.
Oh.
A pot of cheese.
How big is a pot of fondue, though?
How long's a piece of string?
Oh, this is a big pot of fondue. Thank you once again, Annie.
Thank you for having me, Seb. What a treat.
Cheers.
Bye.